Oh, cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake. Cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake. Cheesecake. Cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake. Cheesecake. Cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake, crazy old cheesecake. My girl loves cheesecake, she's crazy all the time. When I bring her cheesecake, she treats me mighty fine. Cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake. Cheesecake, cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake. Cheesecake, cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake. Cheesecake, cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake, crazy over cheesecake, taking their money.
All right, gang. Welcome to Riser's Treasure Hunting Emporium's live stream. Yes, gang, a live stream. We are live. I hope we're live. Everything sound okay? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now? But anyway, yes, gang, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty last Sunday and could not get this thing to kick. The computer is still acting a little funky. It's actually running something in the background, and it's a mystery. Because whatever is creating my little circle is not going away, and it's really driving me nuts. But anyway, we'll fix it. We'll get down to the bottom of it, and it doesn't show anything running. But anyway, gang, running, don't run. Walking's fine. But anyway, gang, I tell you what, busy couple of weeks here, and a lot of stuff was transpired. See, usually it's the week in review. Now it's the 2-week in review. And but anyway, gang, we'll say howdy to folks. And we see Mr. B. Hi, it's the partner. And welcome. And Digging with Deej. Hi. Stuffed peppers. And I did see I was lurking. I was lurking over in Deej's stream there where she was testing her German coins. And a couple of things. I should have made the joke in there, but I didn't because I was doing this thing. But one of the jokes would have been, what the heller? But anyway, no. But right now she's having stuffed peppers. And I tell you, stuffed peppers, yummy. But and also too, what else did I see in chat? Ticks. Oh my goodness. Now, if you guys are being already inundated with ticks already, I hate to see what it's going to be like for our summer. Ticks, just no fun. I tell you, the vermin and but anyway, ticks. I just not looking forward to it. But ticks. Anyway, but we'll move on from there. And we'll get on to a little bit of a recap from our, that's really dirty. But we'll get on a slight recap. I did not realize how dirty this was until I just touched it. But anyway, slight kind of recap. I'm going to keep this away from the computer because I already got programs messing up. So That's it. I'm sorry, Deej, but we're going to over to the Bortners for dinner. But pork chops and bacon wrapped asparagus. Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah, we'll be over for dinner in probably about 10 hours, I guess. But anyway, I did not realize how dirty this was until after I just picked it up, and I got to really try not to get too much. Oh my goodness! What? I just realized how dirty this was. We found a pocket knife. Looks brand new, but but yeah, that's not going anywhere near the desk again. But anyway, and in 2 days of hiking, I've picked off 9 ticks. I tell you what, I wonder if we should like make a contest between the metal detectorists. How many ticks can you manage to? No, I don't know. But hi, Mrs. B, how are you? But anyway, other stuff. Now, mind you, I have not gotten out as much as I have wanted to this season already, and that's not the one I want. Could be, maybe, no. Yeah, there it is. I didn't get out as much as I wanted to already this year, but we are getting out, and I actually have a little bit of a. That's scary. Anybody want to see my fingerprint? No. Okay. See, that's mine. Anyway, I haven't been able to get out as much as I wanted to, but I am going to make a commitment for spring and summer to get out quite a bit. But anyway, this 2 weeks ago, managed to get out and managed to pull out. This looks horrible underneath the scope, and managed to pull out a war nickel. So yay, a little bit of silver. And is this really that bad under the scope? Is it really that dirty? Well, yes, it is. And well, I guess you're going to take my word for it. That's war nickel. But anyway, but yeah, a little bit worse for wear. I was actually kind of surprised that this came out of there. And anyway, more stuff. Now, the other stuff's not so wonderful, not so great. And now I'm actually touching it after it's been 2 weeks. I just realized how dirty it is. And did find a flat button out of the site. Now, this site has been pretty well beat over the years. And I haven't actually cleaned it as of yet. But I'll take a brush to it and give it a light brushing and see what we can find. It still has shankage. Still has the shank. And which, that's a rarity anymore. But hopefully I'll get back to that site at least one more time before they start to plow, start to mending it, and all that good jazz. Mrs. B got out today, was in the 70s. All right, but wind 30 miles an hour. Oh, you might have fallen over. But tired of field dirt in my eyes. Now, this thing here, I was more than amazed. Let me tell you what, I have only been out probably 3 or 4 times since the beginning of the year. And each time I've gone now, I have found a watch winder. I don't know what it is about me and watch winders this year, but I don't know. And I think I've went years prior where I haven't found one. But so far, I have found a watch winder every time I've gone out now. I don't know. It's a weird thing. And even pushed my but I don't know, weird stuff. And but that was all it was. That was a short, quick little hunt just to get out, just to be outdoors and find some stuff. And I'm going to remove that for a second or two. But anyway, gang, we've also got something else in the works, in the planning stages, something I have always wanted to do. And then it's only in the beginning stages of planning. And it's this thing. Now, Deej and Jackson were there just this past fall. And let's see if we can actually share screen, and we'll see if we can get this up here. Yeah, sure we can. Share. So we got this thing going on now. What this is the auto. That is, wow, is that small? This is the auto tour. The outlining of the red lines there. That is the auto tour for the Battle of Gettysburg. I wonder if I can make it bigger. Well, no. And anyway, so that's a driving tour of Gettysburg. And I've always wanted to walk from one side of the battlefield to the other. Now, if you were to actually walk the entire driving tour, I have to take a look at my notes here. If you were to actually walk the entire driving tour, it would be 24 miles. Now, old codger myself cannot do that. But and I do believe if you were to walk from the extremist point of one side of the battlefield to the other, it would be roughly about 16 miles. Now, I kind of tweaked it a little bit. What I'm planning to do is kind of follow some of the routes of the driving tour for this hike / walk. And some of the driving tour kind of backtracks on itself. We're going to avoid that. Thankfully, we can actually one of the things that is kind of, I'm a flatlander. We are completely flat where we live. So we're going to actually, escape some of the hills and some of the hillier terrain. And we're actually going to cheat a little bit and stay at the bottom of Little Round Top. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to do like stops, auto tour stops 1 through 6, skip to stop 9, 10, 11, 12, and stop 16 will be the last. And it'll actually cut this hike down quite a bit. It will be roughly 12.5 miles long. So anyway, that is upcoming. I think that it will be either April the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. We're kind of going to play a little bit just to kind of play it by ear because we've got weather to contend with. And as long as it's not raining. So hi SWPA. So anyway, I haven't really formulated an idea if during this hike or walk, if we're going to go live or not. I kind of would like to, but I don't know. I'm going to play it by ear. And I know there's a couple of areas I would really would like to. One of the things, when I start out the day for this hike and walk and moment in history, I do want to start out at the cemetery. Because I think while doing so, I don't want to lose the perspective of the price that was paid for basically the consequences of that war. Sometimes we lose touch with death and war. I think I'm going to blame Hollywood on that. But and sometimes too, our culture will focus on the reverie versus the consequences and the ultimate price that some of these folks paid for the things to follow. And so anyway, so I'm going to probably start at the cemetery, and then we'll probably either Uber it or something. We have something kind of too in the works too, and we'll go over to stop number 1. And then from there, start the hike and work our way backwards. And I don't know. Well, like I said, I'm kind of was thinking a couple of different areas in my mind where we could possibly live stream. I know around stops 1 through 3, we probably will have self-service. Stops 4 through 6, we should still also have self-service. I know for a fact we will not have self-service at stop 9 and possibly 10. And years and years and years ago, I phoned in from Little Round Top to Liz over at Digging Canuck. But Yes, it's haunted. Hair stood up on the back of my neck. And but yeah, anyway, so yeah, a couple years ago, actually phoned into Digging Canuck from Little Round Top one year. And I remember we had service at Little Round Top, but it was slightly sketchy. But who knows? It could be much better by then. But then also too, I know we do have service around 12 and 16. So I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll play it by ear. Maybe it won't really plan anything uh too much, but just kind of be off the cuff and just kind of see what we come up with, or let you know what is going on through my mind and everything else. I don't know. Maybe we'll make it more of a personal commentary. Besides, if you want actual history of it, there's actually some very, very good channels out there that does the entire Battle of Gettysburg, and there's so much minutia that goes on with the Battle of Gettysburg that it can be an entire channel by itself. I mean, there's so much that has been printed on it and published. One of my favorite books about Gettysburg, I hate to make it sound this way, but I always like the human aspect of basically what happened afterwards. All right, you got all this mess going on. How are the townspeople recovering? And it's a brilliant, brilliant book. I wish I had it handy, and I don't think I do. But anyway, brilliant book about basically how they were moving the bodies to the national tick number 10. All right, as far as the tick contest, Deej is already pulled far ahead. And but anyway, so anyway, they were transplanting the bodies from the fields and the battlefields and reinterring them over at the National Cemetery. And just think of the mess that the farmers had to contend with, and how they still had to try and get a crop in, and just the magnitude of the effect of the war on that small town. I mean, there's just a lot to it. Even somebody had posted on Facebook roughly a week or so ago about Lincoln and the Gettysburg Address, and I tell you, there's actually a very good documentary about Lincoln and the Gettysburg Address, and it's actually quite poignant. It was very short, and I just couldn't quite grasp the intensity of it. I mean, the poor guys dealing with war in the war-torn country and trying to sew the thing back together, and here he is dedicating a cemetery who he's got to feel somewhat responsible for. And meanwhile, there on the edge of town, he's still got the destruction of that war. And he's talking to the townspeople and people from miles around. And yeah, I think they were at first they were taken aback by the shortness of it. And it's roughly 2.5 minutes long, something like that. And a lot of people were like, that's it. And then not until later did it really become poignant. But anyway, so I'm thinking our day's adventure is going to start at the National Cemetery, and perhaps then end not so much at the National Cemetery, but the other cemetery, just because there's a couple of things in there that should be kind of hit upon. And but anyway, adventure, yes, gang, that's right. And again, we plan to do that in the beginning of April. So who knows? Maybe once, maybe 3 times. Maybe I'll try to pop on for 3 times during breaks. I do have breaks planned in this adventure. Why? Because roughly I have it estimated that it's going to take 8.5 hours. Basically, if it was constant walking, it'd take about 6.5 hours. But I plan to take some breaks in there, so I kind of bumped it up to 8.5 hours. So maybe during the rest periods, while we'll pop on. We'll pop on and go live for a little bit and kind of bring you up to speed where we are in the hike and how much further we got to go and what has been seen. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, that's to come. That's to come in April. And and tick number 10. And I don't know. I know we are staying. Oh, we got catching up. Make sure detectors aren't in vehicles. No, that's going to be staying home. And awesome, Sandy. Hopefully they will talk. Yeah, she does too. And oh yes, actually, Nighthawkers. They call it Nighthawkers out. Oh, that's wrong. No, that was Antietam. I think last year they caught a couple of Nighthawkers at the Antietam battlefield, and I don't know what, or even if they went to trial yet. But you're facing up to 7 years in prison or a $250,000 fine. Not worth it. But anyway, I know years and years and years ago, we were not that many years ago, we were there at the National Cemetery, and they were preparing a grave, and they had basically the grave dug somewhere. I don't have it on here. I wish I did. Somewheres I have actually a photograph of the soil of the grave that's being dug, and there's stuff in that hole. And I was like, wow. I was like, it's the idea, of course, is always there, but it's like I just can't even bring myself. I look at it, I'll take a picture of it, but there's just no way I can even touch it. Not even, I mean, just because A, you're on sacred ground, B, it's a big no-no, and for the third part, I just doesn't feel right anyway. But I was amazed that even overturning the soil there where they were digging new graves there in the veteran cemetery, there's still just stuff laying there. And I think it's funny too, right now they're currently doing a project. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll kind of try and bring it back up on the screen here for a second. They are currently doing a beautification thing at Little Round Top. So basically in our hike and walk, we're going to be going, there's a road in front of Little Round Top that we're probably going to use to try to skirt down a little bit to get over to Devil's Den and the front of Little Round Top. But anyway, I was watching a lot of their construction work. They're taking daily photographs of it. They're not really advertising too much of, shall we say, finding of relics, but they do have people on standby in case anything does get pulled and whatnot. But as far as regrading the road up there on top of Little Round Top, they're disturbing the soil. So there's bound to be stuff and whatnot. But I don't know. Phil says we had our detectors in the car when we visited on the way to Dig It Dude. Oops. They were supposed to finish that last year. Yeah, they're still working on it. But and treasure hunting SWPA, that's a horrible idea to Nighthawk that place. Yeah, it's I don't know. There's, you know what, that's the thing. How there's just so much area that's not preserved to go metal detecting around the battlefields and etc. Why? Just why? I don't know. I don't get it. But oh my God, we didn't go to the big house. Oh yes. Now let's just let's take that. Would that have that? Sorry, that would be a federal offense. So I wonder if you're convicted of that in Pennsylvania, if you'd wind up where in Lewistown, Pennsylvania. That's where they had the big federal facility. Jimmy Hoffa, I think, was held there for a while. But anyway, I don't know. I digress. But anyway, so yep, should be a good time. Can't wait. And we got some different kind of stuff planned for it. And if we have time, maybe who knows? Might be a couple other little things thrown in. But hi, Coin Hunter. How are you? You aren't Coin Hunter. You had a different name the last time I think I saw you. But anyway, we'll get rid of that. But anyway, gang, great stuff coming up. Again, I probably should touch on that a little bit too. Where I'm making a new commitment as far as melody detecting and etc. This summer and spring, going to hit the beaches more, going to hit the bayside areas more. And so that's going to actually involve in getting a new machine. And part of me wants to kind of thin out the herd with some of the machines, but at the same time, I don't know if I can bring myself to it, because I hate to admit this, but this is where the hobby comes. You should dress in a Union soldier's uniform when you go, or rebel, whichever you prefer, to get the ghost attention. What I think would be even neat is to kind of like play soundtracks or whatnot as it going. Rivendell coins, hi. But anyway, I was thinking about thinning out the herds for the metal detecting machines, and but I don't know. It's weird. Okay, I'll admit it, but I formed some sort of relationships with all of my metal detectors, and I can't bring myself to sell any of them. But so anyway, I mean, how many AT pros do you really need? But at the same time, I don't know. It's like selling your foot. I've had it for so long. I've had it so many different places. I have so many wonderful memories with it. Even though I'm using my Macs more than the AT pros, plural, can I really bring myself to sell it? I just don't think I could. And even if I did, would I regret it? And it's not so much the machine itself. It's just a AT Pro. Shouldn't have any sort of, it's just a machine, but no, I got some sort of sentimental attachment to it. And the other thing is too, I thought, all right, fine, I won't sell that one. I'll sell one of the other ones. So I go into the basement to look at the other ones. Yeah, I kind of feel about them the same way too. Why I just can't bring myself to do it. Anyway, do you have pet names for each detector? Squeaky, beeper. I used to. Years ago, I did. I don't remember now what I was calling it, but I used to name the detectors, and it just kind of stopped. I don't know, because then they started taking on their own personality. Oh, you keep running out of batteries, do you? And but anyway, yeah. Then I felt a little Hannibal Lecter-ish. I was like, oh yeah. Well, gotta check dinner in oven. Be right back. And but anyway. So anyway, long story short, not selling anything. And when we took Allie a few years ago, they had some, I don't know. But reenactors dressed. Yes, I remember that. Yes, they were back along Confederate Avenue, and in fact, if I remember right, they were actually camping out. Meet people camping. Allie, Allie had fun talking to them. Meet people camping, and baby talk. No, see the grandkids leave, and Mrs. Reiser just stays with the baby dog. But anyway, but yeah, no, I remember that. Yes, they were camping back there, and that was kind of really neat. But I can't imagine sleeping on the ground anymore. I hit the send too quick, but anyway, gang, I tell you. So anyway, so getting back to so I've committed myself to get a new machine, and people think that I'm going to buy the Mind Lab. I'm going to get all this other craziness, and no, there's fine machines. Even though the AT Pro and the AT Max get a little chatty around the salinity and the salt and the salt water, etc., they are still fine around it. For years, I've been yelling and screaming about how wonderful the old analog machines did around the high concentration of salt and whatnot. And but Garrett is coming out with the Storm. I haven't read that yet, but since Garrett now owns all of White's technology, I wonder if they'll have better ground balancing. I would hope so, because that could be a real game changer. I thought about that, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I was actually at work daydreaming when I should have been working. But I was thinking about where Garrett owns all of White's technology. They could just run circles around the competition if they were able to combine what they already had success at, plus with White's automatic ground balancing. I think that was the real thing for me, and using a White's machine for years and years and years, just because there was no trying to get your machine to ground balance. It just took care of it. It just did it itself. And but anyway, and people keep asking me, what machine am I going to? And I'm probably strictly for the beach, going to go with the Simplex. And yeah, old guy, couldn't remember. I had to look at it on my phone. But yeah, I'm probably just going with the Simplex. I think it's a fine machine. I've had one in my hand only once, and before making the final decision, I'm probably going to see if I can't snag somebody who's got one, just so I can just kind of really try it out before making the financial commitment for it. And that's something else too. For a very nice, it sound like a commercial, but for the very nice machine that it is, it's relatively inexpensive compared to some of the other ones that are out there. I'll sell you mine. Oh boy. And I never ground balanced my Knox, just noise cancel and go. But it's hotter than bejesus up here. But yeah, I tell you what. But anyway, so that's stuff that's coming up too. And but anyway, stuff to watch. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now I've had my watch later thing emptied out. I was probably down to about 50 videos to watch later, and ashamedly, I am probably about pretty close to 200 now. Stuff just on a time in the world to watch. I tell you what I've been doing lately too. I've been letting them play in the background as I'm driving. So yeah, kind of like I guess what a podcast would be. So I'm missing all the visuals, but how hot is a bejesus? About this hot, and and how hot is a bejesus? It's actually, we should really we should go into the deep science of bejesus and just how hot a bejesus is, and we could do graphs, charts. I think so. And Mrs. B says we have two simplexes, that what we started out with. And SWPA says same here, Shannon. Oh, SWPA. Hey, how come Norfolk Southern can't keep anything on the tracks? And not to be the conspiracy theorist guy, but in most places where you have 2 and 3 track main lines, you mean to tell me you get a wreck with 3 trains? How does that happen? I don't know. And anymore, the infrequency of having a triple passing of a train in that area, and then you manage to get 3 of them that wreck on top of each other. I don't know. And for you folks who don't happen to know, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, or near Bethlehem, they actually, Norfolk Southern had another train wreck, which they are getting quite the more frequent. I don't know. Yeah, that's for sure, SWPA. They don't maintain the tracks or the equipment. And that's the funny part. If you're, and I have no problems with the railroads running 2-mile long trains, but darn it, man, you gotta have the trackage to support it. The Ohio train came through our town in Illinois, and I imagine the PA one did too. I tell you, it's the big corporations. It seems like it's almost the motto of the execs and the CEOs, where they just want to get past their tenure and don't want to make any kind of long-term investments or planning beyond their tenure. And that's where you get the real big trouble. They don't care if a bridge is going to last 100 years. They only care if it's going to last 5 or 10, as long as they're going to be there. It'll be somebody else's problem. But I don't know. That's like, I'm seeing that a lot in the industry and et cetera anymore. The engineers don't even run them anymore. They have a type of autopilot. The engineer just sits there and watches. He watches the wreck as it's happening. Oh no, yes, I tell you. And I just don't understand. And meanwhile, we're talking about, all right, we'll get off the trains here in a little bit, but you can watch trains all over the world with the live cams and etc. And meanwhile, it amazes me that the Japanese trains, the bullet trains, the real extremely fast trains, the fast trains, have only had out of their existence 2 derailments with no fatalities. And they were both after an earthquake. But it just kind of, it just amazes me that they can have that sort of record. And I don't know, we can't keep anything on the rail, so it seems. I heard the PA one was 2 running in each other. But I don't know. Yes, it was, let's see, if I remember right, one ran into the back of the other, then of course derailed into the other line, and then of course the other one, takes out. But I don't know. But conspiracy time over. But anyway, gang, I don't know. I would love to do not Amtrak. The Canadian Rail. Would love to see Canada from coast to coast by rail. But I'm not sure if they even run coast to coast. They actually just had a bad derailment. Now I'm thinking about it. Revelstoke, British Columbia. Wow, how can I do that? That's it. I'm going to go back and take a grade school test now. It seems like my brain is working. But anyway, Revelstoke, British Columbia. They just had a pretty decent wreck that held up traffic for a while. But that was I think that was more of a fluke. But anyway, what is that? Is that still Canadian National? I think so. But anyway, back to treasure hunting. But anyway, gang, all that good stuff is coming up. We got the Gettysburg trip. We've got a new machine coming up. Just haven't quite got there yet. Commitment to get out more this year. And by the way, all right, old codger stuff. We'll get back to the Gettysburg thing just for a second. So old codger, all right. 12.5-mile hike and walk. And so today is my first day. I thought, all right, we need to build up to this. We need to get back into somewhat quasi shape. And because I do want to complete it. I don't want to towards the end go and fade out or anything. So yes, gang, we are getting into somewhat shape and we are going to start rehearsing. And my goal is to keep building and to hopefully get ourselves in shape enough to do 12.5 miles. Now, today I actually got out and did 3 miles. Actually, it was 3.5 miles. But and we're going to start continuously, keep going, and yeah, to keep ourselves limbered up to try. You know, it amazes me. People will spend their lives training to climb Mount Everest. I mean, they will spend 5, 10 years training, just training to do the Everest climb. And we're talking about folks who are already in shape, and you know, you wouldn't think they would have to do much, but the intensity of the climb and the high altitude and the fatigue and everything else, why they will train to do that climb. And me, I would hire a what do you call it, a one of the guides there, just carry me. But yeah, carry me and all my gear and we'll be good. But even just going to base camp is quite a feat in itself. I'm trying to remember. It was Monty Python guy, Michael Palin. I think when he was either 50 or 60, I don't remember which, he actually did the thing up to base camp, just base camp, and pert near killed him. But I don't know. That's a good start. Yeah, we're going to keep getting out there and getting ourselves prepared. I need to get out on some hikes. He's not going to mention them. Probably going to be on an e-bike since I have had a hips. No, why bother? And Allie can be your Sherpa. Yeah. Those guys practically run up the mountainside. You see some of the videos with those guys. It just amazes me. But again, they're used to it. They do it every day. But anywho, the bus ride is nice, scary, and is that the road that's just basically it's narrow and over the side means death. I think so. I think I've seen some of those where it's like, I would even hesitate walking that road, let alone riding on a bus. But I don't know. But anyway, gang, stuff to look forward to and coming up. I don't know. I don't want to make the commitment yet about going live in Gettysburg just because I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that we'll make the attempt or try. I don't want to overproduce anything because I don't do that anymore. But it's not so much I don't overproduce. It's just I don't like a build up and then a letdown. But so anyway, so for my friends here, yes, we'll probably do something, go live, but nothing that's going to be overly produced. Oh, we're talking about Gettysburg again, the bus ride. We took a tour on the bus, and it was very informative and had a awesome tour guide. Years ago, and I have to say years ago because it was on CD. And what's a CD for the younger folks? Well, it was a little disc, not a record, a disc. And they had the most brilliant produced auto tour on that disc. I would love to know if I still have it, because I would go to a thrift shop or whatnot and get just like a portable portable CD player to play it. I don't even know if we still have it or not, but it was the most. I mean, as far as music and whatnot, and that's, I don't remember how many CDs it was. I think it was like 5 or 6. And between the music and narration and everything it was just wonderfully produced. And then I know the last time I think we did the auto tour, we got an app, and it just wasn't the same. We were spoiled. Mrs. Reiser says, I think it's packed up somewhere. World's most dangerous roads are interesting and kind of sad. Videos to watch on YouTube. Yes, except not to fall asleep to. Uh, all right, things not to fall asleep to. All right, we should start that. But anyway, I think they have tour on radio station. I'll have to check it out. But talking about the uh, of late, I've been experimenting with different things to fall asleep to, to see if my subconscious will pick up anything. And we'll just say, don't watch the or listen to the Hannibal Lecter TV show, which just amazes me because I never saw them. What's his name? Madkin or whatever it is. And I fell asleep to that the other night. And that was some weird dreams, let me tell you. And so I don't know. We've been experimenting with different things. And then because anything that seems like it's halfway, this is the thing. YouTube, right? You'll have the live streams or videos on, and they are all soft talking. They are explaining how the pyramids all, align to the stars and everything. And then the commercial, and then you need to buy this. And then they'll go back to the video, and then they are very soft spoken again. I don't know. I get it. It's the idea. They want to draw your attention to the commercial when they do the break. But my God, if you're pretty close to sleeping and you have one of those commercials pop in, it just jars you awake. That or Allie will holler at me and she'll breeze through the living room if I got something on YouTube on the TV. And are you guys deaf? I was like, no, it's the commercial. It just switched over. It's the commercial. But because the commercial will be like 10 times louder than the actual show you're watching. But I don't know. Everybody's trying to make a buck. And how about those commercials? How many more commercials can we possibly get on YouTube now? But I don't know. And the bizarre commercials. I tell you what, the Lumi gal. All right, now it's not just Lumi. Now we got what? Mondo, and kudos to her for getting into business and being an industrialist. And then I tell you what, any more on YouTube, right? I don't know if it's the age thing, but it seems like I get more. It seems like there's more erectile dysfunction, or should we say ED, commercials than anything else. I'm thinking, how about car commercials? Show me a car commercial. Show me a movie trailer. Well, I was thinking, like, holy cow, are they trying to fit me into a demographic or something? I don't know. Have not had any on this stream so far. I don't know. Even if they were to, I don't know what other commercials would fit my. They gotta have at least a metal detector commercial somewheres, or a coin commercial, or I mean, after all, they have the coin channel that used to be on cable. That's now on YouTube, and you can buy your overpriced coins on there. But it just amazes me with the amount of commercials and what the commercials are. Right? You think that the cruise lines would be on here having their commercials and but I don't know. It just amazes me. And then what the different commercials they can do for YouTube. I don't know if it's because they're not regulated by the feds or not, or what, but some of the commercials that they do on YouTube amaze me. What are some of the other ones that I was thinking? It's like, how can they get away with that? I know it's a couple of the ED. We'll kind of keep it nice and abbreviated. But there was one that was like really pushing, I thought, some boundaries. And at first, I didn't know it was a commercial. I think I was listening to it from a different room. And I was like, what's this lady going on about? What is going on over my phone? And then go out there, and yeah, sure enough, because it's got the little skip thing at the bottom. But yeah, she's rather being dirty about ED and how she gets her hubby to, well, you get the idea. But some of those commercials too, if you don't skip them, they last for half an hour. But I don't know, because if I'm working on a project, the other night I was up here typing, and I had the phone rather somewhere else, and I had to keep getting up because usually if the commercial's 30 seconds long or even a minute, I don't bother getting up to go skip it. I'll just just play it out. But a couple times it was like, how much more of this could I possibly take? Oh, what's the other one? Talking about they're fitting me into this age thing. Oh, the other one. Uh Meta blasters, or you get this youngish guy talking about different foods and stuff that say oh, that won't help you to break down fat, and he just goes on forever about it. And I don't know, commercials turn into an infomercial. Oh my goodness, they do. But I mean, can't they put a pickup truck commercial on? I'd be happy. Not that it's so much. Oh, maybe we should touch on that too. We went pickup truck shopping, and guess what? We'll not be buying anytime soon. All right, so we took the car in for an oil change. Let me just rambling on, and I gotta get out more. But anyway, so it took the car over for an oil change, and usually while that happens, I go strolling along the lot to see what I can find. And yes, eventually I'm going to get either a Tundra or Tacoma. I just don't know which yet. Well, yeah, I kind of got the idea now. So went past the Tundras on the lot, and the cheapest one they had on the lot was $62,000. And of course, vultures, they all come out. Can we show you anything? They're like, yeah, but not this. This is crazy money. So walked through the lot, didn't see any Tacomas, and so there's this car lot. It's owned by the same people, but there's like six of them in the row. So next is a Hyundai dealer, and even our car now, they're wanting close to $30,000 for. And it's like weird. It's just how much things have just gone up. So again, still thinking pickup truck over a Honda. They got the ridge lines, and but the idea, even though I want to eventually pull a trailer, and the idea is, even though that trailer could be pulled, but I'm not so sure about an all-wheel drive truck, and whether that Honda is really that transmission is really made to pull. So I'm kind of like, oh, it's nice, good on gas, but no. Walked over to the Chevy dealer and was thinking about the Colorados, and they had Silverados out the yin yang, and so just kind of breezed through the because nobody had to actually stalk me at that point, but went through the actual the office car lot thing, and inside they had a Corvette. You look down into them now, and guy comes over and says, "Hey, you want to get in?" And I was like, "Not unless you're prepared to pull me back out, because that thing sits that down. That's yeah, there should be stairs going down to this. I don't know, but because no, I don't want to get into that. Fat chance of me getting back out. But I was like, hey, you got any Colorados on the lot? And he goes, no. He says, unfortunately, he says, they're almost by order now. And he goes, and they're all becoming that way. He says, no matter what truck you're looking at, unless you order it, you're probably not getting it. That's how it come we can keep our prices so high. So and I believe them, because the amount of new trucks that were on the lot were almost nil. So passed by the Nissan lot, and of course they had the Frontier and their bigger truck. I don't remember the name of their bigger truck, Armada or Armada, I believe. Yes, but and even their Frontiers, they were cheaper, but they are cheap. And so going back towards where the car was having its oil changed, and passed back through the Toyota lot, and again it got stalked again. The guy comes out and says, "Hey, anything I help you with?" I was like, "Yes." He says, "Sell me a lease return Tacoma Toyota pickup truck with 30 or 1,000 miles on it for $30,000." And the guy just laughs. He goes, "If we had that on the lot, I'd buy it." So yeah, he says that's not even close to what's could possibly happen right now. So get a Yoda taco. But anyway, so yeah, so did not buy a truck, and I think it may be a couple years down the road now, just because it's just unreal. And now I may buy a beater for the business, just for hauling, because there's so much more with the business I want to do. But the thing that I do now is I rent a truck. That way, I don't be bothered with it. But yeah, at the same time, it's a convenience thing. But cars have gotten expensive. I did see a lot of cars I would not buy while there, and I should have loaded a couple of pictures up to show you. But some of the cars amazed me. I was like, who would buy this? This is almost a disposable car. But anyway, quality. How do we get on this tangent? Anyway, but whew. They tried selling us a new Forerunner a month ago. Let me tell you what, I out of all the vehicles I did see, I saw a Forerunner and I was almost swayed. I thought, that Forerunner would pull a trailer. And I didn't go as far as to see what the stats or the ratios were for how much weight it could pull, what the tongue weight was. But I really was thinking to myself, I was like, that Forerunner is pretty sweet. And then, by the way, real quick, the front ends of the new Tundras, what on earth is that? It looks weird. But but no, they had it was a year or two old Forerunner. But even that, I think that had 30-ish thousand miles on it, and they wanted 40 for that. But I thought, this doesn't look bad, and still have, they have a 6 in them. That's it, just a 6. Oh, that would not do it. But well, I don't know. The 6, the Tacoma has a 6. I was still kind of settling for that. I don't know. I heard Forerunners break down a lot. I don't know. But yeah, we'll probably get a beater truck just to haul around the county or so. And we'll wait. Retirement. Yes, retirement, buy a truck. But anyway, I keep monkeying around with my retirement date. It's hard to buy a car and have monthly payments after 6 years being paid off. I hear that. But I keep moving around my retirement date. I'm thinking July of 27 being done officially, but I keep bouncing that date all over the place. I keep thinking about going sooner, and I keep thinking about staying later. So I don't know. I think it was actually I can leave now technically. That was a nice rig. If that's still the same Forerunner you guys had at Dig It Dude, that was a nice truck. But I keep bouncing around the retirement date, and I technically can go now. It's just everything else falling into place. If I was to go now, and I have to do something else, but every now I get the urge that doing something else. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things fall into place and whatnot. But I don't know. We'll see. But I keep daydreaming of retiring, and then just between YouTube and metal detecting and doing the Emporium. And then I keep thinking, all right, if I make the Emporium any bigger than what it is right now, which I kind of do want to do anyway, we've already proven that it is obviously it's profitable, otherwise wouldn't do it. But I was like, can we grow bigger? Can we make that niche market pay a dividend? I don't know. SWPA, only 23 more years to go for me. Well, you're a youngster. Yes. You'll be there someday. And the cost of things nowadays, I'm retiring in 21, 25. And see, that's something else too that we have to take into consideration, the rate of inflation. And but I don't know. I've always had a kind of a little side gig going on, so I don't know. It all depends. Well, anyway, gang, I have rambled on far too long. And probably half of this show has not been anything about metal detecting or that stuff. Such is life. But anyway, gang, weather is, I tell you, improving. So do be sure and take advantage of it when you can. Get out there with your metal detector. And even if you just go out eyeballing, sometimes that can be fun too. But and I tell you what, next week, we're not going to make a commitment, but we're going to see if we can't get that paranormal show at least started. And if we can get pretty much it together and blah, 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 that may also, too, be a call-in show. So who knows? But we're trying to get that together. If that's not going to happen next week, I'm going to really make a goal to happen the week after. And even this show, I did not advertise it because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get this thing working right. And I'm still getting that little circle of it's acting busy. I don't know. But anyway, so we're going to make a commitment. If it's not next week, the paranormal show will be the week after. And then the other thing I have to look forward to is, of course, the Gettysburg live stream. Some will be Monday during the day, Monday or Tuesday. But anyway, all right, gang, have a great week. Get out there with your metal detector and find some good stuff. All right, gang. Until then, we'll see you.